Chosen one, my beloved child, take just a moment, 22 seconds. I ask this with urgency, not impatience, because what I am about to speak carries a weight that cannot wait. Give me these seconds, because they might be the last quiet window for your heart to hear clearly, before the noise rises again. I am not raising my voice to frighten you, nor am I whispering to be overlooked. I am speaking now, because one chapter is closing, and another is ready to open, and you are standing in the space between. I need your attention, not scrolling past, not doubting, not assuming this is for someone else. These seconds matter far more than you realize. This message did not happen by accident. It was not randomly sent, and it was not stumbled upon. Someone close to you was moved without understanding why, and I guided that movement. Love, timing, connection. I used all of it to place these words before you. That person was not chosen by chance, and neither were you. I know who you trust. I know whose voice reaches you when others cannot. That is why this message arrived in this exact form, at this exact time, for you. I have tried to reach you before, quietly, subtly, persistently, through restless nights, through moments when your heart felt heavy, but you couldn't put it into words, through delays, closed doors, and unanswered prayers that made you wonder if I was still listening. But today is different. Today is not a gentle tap. Today is a clear call. Not because I am angry, but because I love you too much to remain silent while you stand at a crossroads without clarity. You may feel small, like just another soul trying to survive. But hear this. I see you. I know you. I am speaking directly to you, not to a crowd, not to a general audience. I know your past, your fears, the questions you hide, the strength you show others, and the vulnerability you keep private. You are not overlooked. You are not forgotten. You are chosen to hear this now because your heart is still open, still capable of responding. This message could not wait for tomorrow, not next week, not until life feels calm. Timing matters in ways you cannot always see. Delay can steal peace. Hesitation allows fear to take root. I am not urging panic. I am calling you out of delay. If this reached you later, it would not carry the same clarity, protection, or power. Today is your appointed moment to hear, to recognize my voice again. Listen carefully. Ignoring this will not leave you unchanged. Walking away from it will leave a quiet ache, a sense that you missed something you cannot explain. I do not speak to threaten, but to protect. Regret often comes not from mistakes, but from ignoring what is right. I do not want you to carry that burden. I want you free, aware, aligned with what is unfolding in your life right now. Chosen one, if this message has touched your heart, I invite you to show your support. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and help us reach 5,000 subscribers so more hearts can be reached in their appointed moment. Your presence here strengthens this mission and honors the work God is doing in your life. This is not entertainment. This is not comfort wrapped in empty words. This is intimate, heart to heart, preparing you for what is coming. Set aside distractions. Soften your defenses. Allow your heart to pause for a moment. You are safe here, but you are being called to pay attention. Let my voice rise above the noise. I am present. I am not distant. I am speaking directly into your life. I am not done with you. I am still guiding you. I am not silent. Stay with me. These seconds are just the beginning. I have been trying to reach you far longer than you realize. Not just today, not just this season, but across moments in your life where my voice brushed against your heart softly, persistently, I have never been absent. I have never stopped speaking. Sometimes my voice arrived in unexpected ways, a word overheard at the right moment, a sentence that lingered longer than it should have, a sudden thought that paused your heart. None of it was random. That was me reaching for you. Say amen. If your foundation is rooted in Christ, I spoke to you even in silence. In the quiet where answers were delayed, prayers felt unanswered. Waiting stretched beyond your endurance. You may have thought I was distant. I was not. My silence was protection. It was shaping. It was keeping you from paths that would have harmed you before you were ready to walk them. I was teaching you to feel my presence beyond words, to listen when the world was loud. I know how hard it was. I know how many times you wondered if I had turned away, if you had failed, if you were forgotten. You were not. I spoke through people, through voices you resisted, through encouragement, through correction, through challenges that tugged at your heart. Sometimes you pushed it aside because it asked more than you were ready to give. I understand. My love does not vanish when you hesitate. Even through pain, I was close, not causing your wounds, but standing with you inside them. I used moments of loss, disappointment, and heartbreak to pull your attention inward, to slow you when life was moving too fast, to realign you with your true path. When everything felt fragile, when your strength felt thin, I was present. You are not sustained by your own effort alone. I know there were times you numbed the pain instead of listening. You survived, but you did not always heal. And I waited. I spoke through waiting, through seasons where nothing moved, doors stayed closed, progress felt stalled. You questioned your worth, wondered if you had missed your chance, watched others move forward while you remained still. Waiting was never punishment. It was patience, wrapping around your life, keeping you from stepping into what you were not ready to carry. I was strengthening roots you could not yet see, teaching endurance, trust, and depth. I know impatience sometimes drowned out my voice. I know frustration made you stop asking and start assuming. There were moments when your heart felt a clear tug, to pause, to change direction, to let go, to come closer to me. You felt it in decisions, at crossroads, awake at night, thinking about your path. I see all of it. There were times you ignored the prompt, not because you were defiant, but because you were weary, uncertain, or afraid. You told yourself you'd listen later, when life felt lighter, when you felt stronger, when circumstances seemed easier. But in those moments, my love never wavered. I never pulled back. I simply waited, because love that is forced is no love at all. My patience with you has always been steadfast. My persistence has never faltered. I do not grow tired. I do not fade with delay. And I never stop calling your name. Even when you turned inward, even when you tried to carry the weight alone, I remained. I watched when you did not notice. I protected when you did not ask. I guided steps you didn't even realize were guided. That is who I am. This moment is different. This is not another gentle tap or quiet reminder. This is a point of alignment, a moment where clarity is being offered because you are ready to receive it in ways you weren't before. Your heart has been softened by experience. Your ears have learned to listen through silence. Your spirit has grown through waiting. What once would have passed unnoticed can now be understood. That is why I am speaking so clearly now. You are standing at the edge of change, whether you recognize it fully yet or not. Paths ahead require awareness, not assumption. Decisions forming now will shape more than just your next step. and I will not let you walk into them without hearing me clearly, if you are willing to listen. I am not repeating myself out of frustration. I am speaking because I am preparing you. I am not reminding you of past missteps or missed chances. I am showing you that every previous attempt to reach you has led to this very moment. Nothing was wasted, nothing meaningless. Even your delays taught you about yourself, your limits, and your need for me. This moment holds weight because it gathers all those whispers into one steady, loving, present voice. Mine. Stay here. Don't rush past this, as you may have with other moments. Keep your heart open. I have been reaching for you because you matter deeply to me. Now, more than ever, I need you to hear me clearly, because what comes next will demand a trust you have not known before. This did not reach you by accident. It did not pass through random hands. I chose this path carefully because I know your heart, who you trust, who reaches you, whose presence feels familiar and safe. That is why I used someone close to you, not to confuse or pressure you, but to meet you where you are. Love was the bridge, and I walked across it to reach you. The person delivering this may not have understood why they were compelled to act, why your name came to mind, or why they felt a sudden urgency. But I did. I was the gentle nudge behind their action, the quiet insistence that would not let them forget you. I speak through hearts all the time, in ways that feel natural, because divine movement often arrives as a thought, a concern, a pull you cannot explain. I did not need thunder or signs in the sky. I needed willingness, and I found it in someone who loves you. Understand this. Spiritual connections are real. They are deeper than words. When two hearts are linked by care, by history, by shared moments, that bond becomes a pathway I can use. I move through love easily because love reflects my nature. That is why this message did not come from a stranger. It came from someone already present in your life, someone known and trusted. I wanted your heart to pause, not defend itself. I wanted you to feel safe enough to listen. You may be tempted to dismiss this as coincidence, as timing, as chance. But consider, how many small alignments had to fall into place for you to be reading this right now? How many decisions, delays, and impulses guided you here? Coincidence cannot carry this precision. Chance cannot know your silent prayers, your struggles, your questions. I do, and I orchestrated this moment with care, because you matter more than you realize. I know your doubts. I know you wonder if you are overthinking, if your heart is searching for meaning where none exists. But I am never vague with those I love. I am intentional. I remember details others overlook. I know the exact season of your life, the weight you carry, the decisions you have avoided, the ones you fear to make. I know the nights you replay conversations, the mornings you wake exhausted before your day begins. I chose this moment because your heart is open enough to receive it. You are intimately known by me, not in some distant way, but completely. I know your past, even the parts you hide because you think they reveal weakness. I know your sacrifices that went unnoticed, your silent endurance, the quiet choices that cost you internally. And I have never lost sight of you, even when you did. When I prompted this person to reach out, it wasn't just about words. It was to remind you that you are seen, even in the web of relationships around you. You are not invisible. Your life ripples outward, even when you feel still. I wanted you to feel remembered, not only by me, but through me. Love continues to flow toward you, guided and intentional. This is how I move, quietly, weaving moments together, connecting hearts, aligning timing, I do not force awareness, I invite it. And when you pause, when you notice, you see that I have been arranging more than you realized. The message is not only in the words, it's in how they arrive. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. You are still held. You may wonder why I don't always speak directly without using another. Understand this. I speak directly in your heart, in your conscience, in the quiet spaces of your mind. But sometimes you need confirmation outside yourself, not because your faith is lacking, but because you are human. I echo through others, not to replace my voice, but to strengthen your trust in it. Right. Amen. Your presence strengthens me if He renews my spirit daily. This message came through someone who loves you, so you could feel warmth before urgency, connection before instruction, softness before clarity. That is not manipulation, it is care. I do not rush hearts. I prepare them. And now, I want you to hear this clearly. I have been watching you with detail, counting your steps forward and back, seeing your attempts after disappointment, noticing when you doubted yourself even while you were stronger than you knew, watching you hold on longer than anyone realizes. And I chose this moment because your endurance has brought you to a place where truth can land without breaking you. Let doubt fall away. Let the idea of coincidence rest. This is no chance. This is connection. This is remembrance. This is love reaching love. You are not here because you searched. You are here because I came looking for you, and I knew exactly how to reach you. Stay with me in this awareness. Let it settle in your heart that you are deeply known, carefully approached, and intentionally loved. What I am saying to you right now is not generic. It is personal. And the fact that it came through someone who cares about you is part of the message itself. I see you. I remember you. I am closer than you think. My beloved child, I need you to pause for just a few moments more. I know how fast your mind races, how quickly your thoughts leap ahead to the next task, worry, or obligation. I know how rare it feels to simply stop without guilt pressing on your chest. But I am asking you now, gently yet firmly, to pause, not to take something from you, but to give you something that can only be received in stillness. These seconds are sacred. They are enough for me to meet you right where you are. Breathe. Let your shoulders drop. Allow the tension you carry unconsciously to loosen. You've grown used to moving quickly, thinking quickly, reacting quickly, because the world demands constant motion. But my voice does not compete with noise. My presence does not push through chaos. I speak in clarity, and clarity requires stillness. That is why I am asking for your attention now, not half-heartedly, not distracted, open, willing. You do not need to fix yourself. I am not asking for perfection. I am asking you to be present. Stillness may feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. When things go quiet, thoughts rise, memories surface, worries speak louder. You've learned to stay busy to avoid what waits beneath. I see that. I do not judge. But stillness is not your enemy. It is where truth can finally reach you without resistance. When you stop running, you hear what has been patiently waiting for you. That is why I ask you to slow down. Not later, not when life is easier, but here, now, where rushing has left little room for listening. Messages, responsibilities, expectations, comparisons, pressures, they flood your days. You move from one thing to the next, carrying unfinished thoughts and unprocessed emotions. In constant motion, my voice can seem distant, not because I am far, but because your life is crowded. Rushed living muffles gentle truths, but I do not speak in panic or demand, I speak in peace. and peace requires pace. That is why I ask for your attention, not for me, but for what unfolds when you give it. When you slow down, your heart opens. When you pause, your spirit senses my presence without strain. You were not created to live hurried, reactive, always catching up. You were created to walk with me, aware, grounded, present. Open your heart now, even if you are unsure what that means. Openness does not demand perfect faith or full understanding. It only requires willingness. Willingness to listen without arguing, to receive without questioning immediately, to be honest with what you feel instead of hiding behind what you think you should feel. I am not intimidated by doubt or weariness. I am drawn to your honesty. Let your guard down. You do not need to protect yourself from me. This moment is not ordinary. It is set apart. Sacred moments do not always announce themselves with grandeur. Often they arrive quietly, disguised as pauses you almost skip. What makes them sacred is not appearance, it is my presence within them. And I am here, fully present, attentive, near. Treat this moment with care, not fear, but reverence. You are not wasting time by listening. You are aligning your heart with truth. I know you are used to multitasking, to dividing attention, to listening while doing everything else. But now, let this moment stand alone. Not because I demand exclusivity, but because divided attention divides understanding. When you listen fully, something shifts inside. You feel grounded instead of scattered. You sense direction instead of confusion. You remember who you are beneath the roles, expectations, and masks. Resistance may rise. You may want to move on quickly, to skip ahead, to avoid lingering in quiet reflection. That is not failure, it is habit. You have trained yourself to move fast because slowing down once felt unsafe or unproductive. Here with me, slowing down is neither. It is healing. It is restoration. It is necessary. Stay a little longer. Nothing is lost in waiting. Much is gained. I am not asking for hours, just presence. These few seconds of attention are enough for me to begin something meaningful within you. I do not need speeches or rituals. I need your awareness. When you give it, I meet you with clarity, peace, and truth, settling gently but deeply. You do not have to strain to hear me. You simply need to stop running long enough to notice that I am already here. Let this moment be different from those you rushed past before. Let it mark a quiet turning point, choosing to listen rather than hurry, to be present rather than distracted. I am not here to overwhelm you with demands. I am here to calm the storm that urgency has stirred inside you. Stay with me in stillness. Let it become familiar. From here, my voice grows clearer, guidance steadier, your heart lighter. These seconds are sacred because you chose to listen. As you remain slowed, open, attentive, you will sense it. You are not alone in this pause. I am with you. I always have been. I know what you carry, even the parts you have never spoken aloud. I know the weight that presses when the day ends and no one is left to distract you. I know the quiet heaviness that lingers even in moments meant for joy. You smile, function, keep going. But inside, you bear more than you should alone. You have carried it so well that others rarely notice. But I always have. I see your loneliness, not just when you are physically alone, but even amidst company. That loneliness runs deep. It makes you question why connection feels just out of reach, why you can care for others yet feel unseen. I notice I have been close in those moments. I know your exhaustion, not only the body's weariness, but the soul's. You have been strong for so long, holding on when you wanted to let go. And I have seen it all. My beloved child, I see you. I see the days you showed up even when you felt empty, the weight you carried that never seemed to let up. Responsibilities, expectations, emotions. They've piled on without enough rest, without relief. There are mornings when even the simplest tasks feel heavy, when motivation feels forced and your spirit feels stretched thin. You tell yourself you should be grateful because others have it worse. But that doesn't erase the exhaustion you feel. I do not ask you to minimize your pain. I see it all. I know about the prayers that felt unanswered, the moments you asked, waited, trusted, and waited some more. I know how disappointment crept in quietly, slowly, almost imperceptibly as days turned into months, and nothing seemed to change. You wondered if your faith was too weak, if you were asking too much, if something in you was wrong. Sometimes you stopped praying about certain things, not because you stopped believing, but because it hurt too much to hope again. I know that pain. I have been with you in it. There are moments when it feels as though you've been forgotten. You watch others move forward, doors open, opportunities come, lives shift, and you feel like you are standing still. You wonder if you waited too long, if you were overlooked, if your timing was off. That feeling cuts deep because it touches your sense of worth, your purpose, your place in this world. Hear me now. You are not forgotten. I have never lost sight of you, not even for a moment. It may feel like your life is always a step behind. Progress seems slow. Breakthroughs appear just out of reach. You compare yourself to where you thought you would be, and the gap hurts. That disappointment does not push me away. It draws me closer because I know the heaviness you carry, the quiet ache of unmet expectations. You may also feel unseen, unrecognized, uncelebrated, as if your effort went unnoticed. That pain is subtle, persistent, and it teaches you to shrink, to expect less, to stop hoping for affirmation. But I want you to hear this clearly. Being unseen does not mean being unvalued. Your efforts are honored, even when others miss them. I see what others overlook. I cherish it. Your feelings are valid. Your exhaustion makes sense. Your loneliness has reason. Your disappointment is real. I am not disappointed in you. I am not asking you to be stronger, more faithful, or to earn relief. I am not condemning doubt, hesitation, or weariness. I see the path you've walked. I see the strength it takes just to remain standing. You've carried weight never meant to be permanent, held on because you thought you had no other choice. But hear me now. You do not have to carry everything alone. You were not designed for self-reliance alone. You were designed to walk with me, to lean, to rest, to release what is too heavy for your hands. Every wound, disappointment, and unanswered question, I know them all. Nothing you carry is hidden from me. Nothing you feel disqualifies you from my love. I am already here. Feeling tired does not mean weakness. Feeling lonely does not mean unlovable. Feeling delayed does not mean you are behind. Feeling overlooked does not mean you are insignificant. These are signals, not judgments. They reveal that you have been giving, hoping, trusting, and enduring for a long time. They show your humanity, not your failure. I am not here to rush you past your pain or cover it with empty words. I am here to sit with you in it, to honor it, and to remind you that it does not define your future. What you are carrying now is not the final chapter. It is a season, and seasons change, even when they feel endless from the inside. Bring what you carry to me without fear. I am not overwhelmed by your emotions. I am not tired of your questions. I am patient, present, and compassionate. I carry what you cannot. I hold what feels too heavy. I restore what feels depleted. You are not forgotten. You are not delayed beyond redemption. You are known, seen, deeply loved. As you acknowledge what you carry instead of hiding it, you will feel the weight shift. Not all at once, but gently, faithfully, as I take what you were never meant to bear alone and replace it with peace. My beloved child, it may have felt like I was silent. Long stretches where heaven seemed quiet, prayers unanswered in ways you could recognize, voices that did not come as you expected. You wondered if I had stepped back, if your voice no longer reached me. But my silence was never absence. It was intentional. It was care. It was love moving in ways you could not yet see. Believe in unseen miracles. Trust in God's power beyond what you can see. And share this message because it is a reminder that even when the world feels quiet or heavy, you are known, you are seen, and you are never alone.